Listen, the amount of salt on Twitter is phenomenal. So I figured what we'd do is sit and mine some of it, because some of it is comic gold. Comic gold, and I can't wait to get started. Let's just have a look at some of it. Right. This is going to be fucking wonderful. See, I was actually a bit conservative here, because it says, does this result show the British public wants to get Brexit done? That's what they asked on LBC. With the neck of 1,000 giraffes, they dared to ask us, does it show that the public wants to get Brexit done? Does it? After what? UKIP winning the elections in 2014, which forced the Tories to stick the referendum on the ballot, which allowed them to win the general election, which saw the referendum got called, which saw the referendum get won by the Brexit campaign, which saw Theresa May win another general election after promising to enact the result, which saw Boris Johnson win another general election after promising to enact the result, and these necky bastards have the fucking brass balls to ask, does this result show the public want to get Brexit done? Well, what do you fucking think? Unbelievable. If anyone's wondering why I've got slightly less veins than on my avatar, that's just because I'm in a great mood tonight. When I'm truly enraged, that's when the bulging starts. Although I am bulging at the moment, but in my pants, not in my biceps. I've had a boner for 12 hours after seeing the exit polls and the end result. I'm fucking over the moon. Let's start with Owen Jones, shall we? Got to start with Owen Jones. But it's just endless drivel. Fuck me. Right, Ash Sarkar's another good one. Right, Ash Sarkar is the one who went on national television and said, I'm a literal communist, you idiot. And they think that's funny, and they all bought t-shirts saying, I'm a communist, you idiot, which only someone who's mal-educated and has only ever learned one side of the Nazi communist coin would say something that special needs on television and think it didn't make them look like a clueless cunt. That's all I have to say about Ash Sarkar. Look, walks like a supermodel, fucks like a champion. Yeah, she's the type of person we should take seriously. I've actually seen her at Oxford debates with Roger Scruton from like years ago, which just goes to show what people say about these fucking upper crust, Oxbridge educated wankers. They're never plumbers, are they? Or bricklayers. That's why they haven't got a clue how working class people are gonna fucking vote. She's got the IQ of a fucking shoe, this fucker. Obviously, I'm completely racked with doubt about whether my eventual support for a second referendum was the right thing to do. It was a minority within a minoritarian position. It was a process-based demand when what people wanted as an end of process. Racked with doubt. You got dropped like a bad habit. It was the right thing to do. For the Tories. Oh, that Navarra media guy's complete scum as well. He was on Ian Dale's show, just a total snake. Like, you couldn't believe his fucking radio. The guy is incapable of telling the truth. Look at this one. From Mahdi Hassan. A dark day for minorities in the UK, especially for British Muslims who watched as a man who said Islam was the problem. What was he talking about? Islam was the problem. If he was talking about September 11th, it fucking was. You don't get agnostic suicide bombers, do you, Mahdi, you fucking maniac? Here's someone who's fucking telling the truth, look. I'm sat at work at the moment on my break listening to a bunch of working class blokes slagging Corbyn off. I can't describe how bad I'm feeling right now. Yeah, well, and therein lies the fucking problem, son. Working class blokes think Corbyn is a cunt. Middle class arseholes who work for The Guardian and live in London and never go anywhere other than to the fucking Starbucks with the Oxbridge educated chums. That's who represents the Labour Party now. A bourgeois middle-class group of cunts who nobody fucking likes. Here's a good one, look. For all those cunts who keep going on about, oh, the Lib Dems split the votes. Yeah, there'd be way more Labour votes if it wasn't for the Lib Dems splitting the vote. Look at that one. Barnsley Central was held by Labour with 40% of the vote The Brexit Party got 30.4 and the cons got 21.4, so that's at 51.8% of the vote was Brexit and Conservative. Hardcore Brexiteers. Labour 40.1, Lib Dems 3.2, so you've got a 43.3% of the people there wanted Remain and 52% wanted to leave. So don't be talking about as if there's only one side that to worry about splitting the vote. Fuck me. Gina Miller, she hasn't commented, hasn't been on since the day before yesterday. She said, we can rain on Boris's parade. Of course you fucking can, love. Needless to say, sent her a quick message. Bless you, Gina. You helped Boris almost as much as Jezza. See you later. 11 likes. Not a popular gal, Gina Miller. Oh, look. Some nice political infighting from Katie Curtis, the candidate for Castle Point. Yes, that's it. Yes, left. Eat each other. Gorge yourselves and become strong. I don't want to hear from the likes of Ash Sarkar, Aaron Bastani or Owen Jones ever again unless it's to say sorry. Don't forget Paul Mason. Yep, he's a fucking twat and all. Femi, yeah, don't forget Femi. Helen Joyce. Labour should listen very, very carefully to everything Owen Jones, Ash Sarkar and the like say, and then straight away do the exact opposite.
Catastrophic result for the country and for everything that the Labour Party exists to fight for, the people it was founded to champion, to represent. And I'm so sorry to people watching this who are full of dismay and horror.
Have you noticed how he always talks like he's got like 3 dicks in his mouth? He's like, it's a catastrophic result for this country.
And who are scared. And what I would say is this: was it about people thinking the top 5% shouldn't pay more tax? Was it about people objecting to public ownership? Was it about people thinking tuition fees were a good thing? Was it about people thinking genuine living wage was a bad thing? No. It was a culture war which has ripped this country apart, Brexit being the kind of the lightning rod of that culture war. And in terms of, I know people are saying you're just coming up with excuses here. It's about genuine.
Yeah, do the exact opposite. Who would have guessed that treating people like Aaron Bastani, Michael Walker, Ash Sarkar and Owen Jones as political sages would end in disaster? Yes, who would have thought? Oxbridge-educated middle-class arseholes. That's who would have thought. David Curtin, he's great, him, former UKIP guy. This is glorious. Ramonas who lost their seats. Dominic Grieve. Oh, fucking hell. I hate Dominic Grieve. Talked about him at length in another video. I'll post it in the description. He's a fucking twat. I'm buzzing off that. Dominic Grieve, see you later. Anna Soubry, see you later. Chucker, fucking chucked him, see you later. Joe fucking Swimsuit, the leader of the Lib Dems, lost. Luciana Berger, I do feel kind of bad about her. And Sarah Wollaston, see you later. John Burko, heard fuck all from him. Gina Miller, she's gone dark. Owen Jones, talking like he's got a bag of dicks in his mouth on the telly. With a face like a slapped ass. I fucking love it. There's a great post which is not related to the election but something that I do like to talk about. Neil Ferguson. This is the central issue of the climate change debate. Until someone tells me exactly how the rest of us are going to constrain China and India, it's all virtue signaling. Exactly. You only have to be able to do 5th grade maths to see this fucking shit. The rise of China and India with the associated energy demand has overwhelmed the emissions reductions chalked up by richer nations. No fucking shit. Look at that. Fuck me. China and India, whump. Rest of the world, so ours have all gone down. So all them hippies who smashed up fucking Britain, this extinction rebellion shit, pointless. And they didn't go and protest in China because they know they'll get both barrels and then a riot hose off the fucking coppers. It is fucking pointless. Greta Thunberg needs to really fucking get a grip and then go back to school and then get a proper job. Anyway, moving swiftly on. I'm saving that one for later. This guy, Existential Comics, have you seen him? Guy's a fucking lunatic. The lesson from Jeremy Corbyn's defeat is that the corporate media needs to be dismantled because they'd rather see fascists run the country than have to pay their interns a living wage or have their taxes go up 5%. Listen, if you honestly think that Sky News, Channel 4, the BBC, The Guardian, The Independent, basically the vast majority of all the TV channels, the radio, you've got LBC, 80% of them are Remainers. You've got all the BBC Radio 1 through 5. If you had to say 80% of the MSM in the UK was partisan, you would come down on the left unless you were a fucking maniac. That's what's obvious to anyone who's got a fucking two brain cells to rub together. A democratically run media, how would you even do that? Unless you're chairman fucking Mao, Matthew Stadlin, he's a fucking lunatic. The always reliable Titania McGrath, she's quality by the way. It's a parody account set up by one of the comedians who writes, Jonathan Pye, who is a lefty Labour voting guy, but at least he's not insane, right? You got to remember that they're not all mental. It's just a sort of 10-15% of them, most of them being the momentum mob and a bunch of social justice warriors. There's a lot of them are sane. A lot of them are, my hometown is Labour, always has been. They're not all maniacs. I don't have a problem with Labour voters. I have a problem with maniacs, and there's a big difference between the two. Anyway, Titania McGrath wrote, this brave comedy club is banning audience members who voted the wrong way in the general election. All Conservatives should be visibly branded in some way so that we can exclude them from other public spaces. Only through division shall we be healed. Yeah, visibly branded. That is unbelievable, that though, isn't it? Comedy by Bo. If you are a Tory voter, you are no longer welcome to perform here. You can have your own free speech zone somewhere else. There will not be a platform. Unbelievable, isn't it? So that's now going to be the shittest comedy club on planet Earth. I'd rather go to my grandpa's funeral than go to Comedy by Bo. So we'll see if their ticket sales nosedive. Sadiq can't. I love Sadiq Khan whinging. I could sit and read his Twitter feed all night. Look at that. Fucking old wankers. Go and clean your room, Alicia. Go and fucking do it. You darkly inclined pagan socialist.
Precisely because I'm a socialist, I'm an anti-racist, I'm an anti-Semite, I'm an anti-sexist, and also Corbyn, precisely...
Hugh Grant, look. Hugh Grant, there goes the neighbourhood. Cheers, Hugh, you fucking twat. Look at this shit. Judge Rinder on Channel 4. Jews will be breathing a sigh of relief. Boris Johnson is an anti-Semitic fascist with neo-Nazi ties to people like Steve Bannon, who will actively allude to the Jewish question in his manifesto. If you think Boris Johnson is an anti-Semitic fascist with neo-Nazi ties, you're not inhabiting the same plane of reality as everybody else. There's no other way to say it. He's not even fucking right-wing. 20 years ago, he'd have been like centre-left. He wanted an immigration amnesty. He's promised to take action on climate change, said he's going to get emissions down to zero by 2050. He says he's going to hire 50,000 more nurses, do up all the hospitals, and pledge to increase NHS spending. What's fascist about him? Fuck me. The fucking fascists were endorsing Corbyn because his fucking party is anti-Semitic. Christ almighty, Google like Andrew Anglin, the guy who has the Daily Stormer. They're Nazis. They'll tell you they're Nazis. They're happy to admit they're fucking Nazis. Go see who they supported. Fuck me. I'm thinking about emigrating to Scotland. Fuck fascist England. Again, you don't know what a fascist is. You have no fucking idea. Read a book, Jamie Shithead. The moment Boris Johnson says no to Scotland, the independence movement by default becomes an anti-fascist resistance movement. Accepting a dictatorship is not an option. A dictatorship? Fucking hell. You know what? Presented without comment. The last time I seen something that stupid, it was written in shit on a park bench. And then look at that. The irony, right? So they've lost 5 votes. They've lost general election, European elections, and now they're knocking fuck out the coppers. So you lose 5, you lose and lose and lose in democratic elections, and you respond by calling everyone a fascist and then booting the fuck out of a load of coppers. Who's the fascist? Quite simple, isn't it? Fuck Boris Johnson and his fascist fucking Tories. That's very accurate. It is if you're a fucking lunatic. You've got an IQ of about 62. Fucking hell. I don't even know if it goes that low. That's a good one. Every US pundit there. I know zilch about UK politics. However, And there's a good one to end on, I think. The minute Boris Johnson becomes PM, I'm leaving the country. Here's why. Thank fuck for that. Do one. Do one, Yasmin. Do one. Pack your bags and fuck off. I could do this all night, honest. I tell you what, I could do this all night. It's marvellous. What a fucking day. Never bet against the British people. They had everything on the side. They cheated, they lied. The MSM supported them. And we're going to get it done. We voted. They can't tell us we don't know what we're voting for anymore. We know. We told you 4 fucking times. Get it done. I'm going to go and drink gin. And hopefully my erection will finally leave me at some point before I retire to bed this evening.